Hi guys, welcome back to the Home and Homestead. I'm so glad you're here with me today. If you're new, I'm Rebecca. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a recipe that is a great kitchen staple. I'll be showing you how I make homemade cream of chicken soup. This is a really great condensed chicken soup recipe that works wonderfully in the various casseroles. So if you find your cupboard or pantry a little bare, or maybe you don't have this ingredient for making a particular recipe on hand, or perhaps you want to add a little homemade flavor to a particular recipe, I'll show you how I make this kitchen staple of homemade cream of chicken soup. Alright, so how I like to make my homemade cream of chicken soup is I like to use a Dutch oven. And then I heat this up to a medium-high heat. And what we'll need is equal parts fat and flour. So I'll use a half cup of butter, which ends up being 1 stick of butter. I'll place it into the Dutch oven so that the butter can melt. So now that the butter has melted, we can add equal parts of flour. So a half cup of flour. And this is just an all-purpose flour. Now what I'm going to do is whisk the flour into that melted butter. We're just going to cook this for a few minutes until this becomes nice and golden brown and bubbly. And we've created a roux. This will work to thicken up our soup base. And we're cooking this in order to get that raw flour flavor out of this. And this just takes a few minutes to get to this point here. We have a slightly golden color to our roux. We have nice bubbles throughout. So now what we're going to do is add the next ingredient, which is 1 cup of whole milk. Pour that in. And we'll whisk this into our roux and allow this to heat through again. And then we'll add our chicken flavor, which will be 1 cup of chicken broth or chicken stock. And we'll whisk that in as well. Now what we're going to do is bring this mixture up to a simmer. And we're going to allow this to cook and simmer for about 3 minutes or so, or until this begins to thicken. So now I'll let our homemade cream of chicken soup come up to a simmer. Alright, our cream of chicken soup is simmering away here, and it's starting to thicken up a bit. Just keep whisking and stirring in the liquid part so you have a nice creamy result. And now we'll add some final ingredients here. We're going to season this cream of chicken soup. And I like to do a garlic pepper blend, something with garlic and pepper and a little salt. So I do a teaspoon of that. Kinder's the blend works well. You could certainly use garlic powder and black pepper and then salt to taste. And there you have it. Here is our homemade cream of chicken soup. So let's get this into a dish, and I'll share with you some ideas or suggestions of where you can use this homemade cream of chicken soup. Here we have our homemade cream of chicken soup. This is a wonderful condensed chicken flavored soup base. It's nice and creamy, and this would be about the equivalent of a large can of that cream of chicken soup that you can buy in the store, or 2 of the smaller cans. Cream of chicken soup is often called for in various casseroles or baked dishes. I've also seen that used to make a cream-based chicken enchilada type of dish, where you'll use this as the sauce, and then you can add a few cans of green chilies, or perhaps dice up some spicy peppers, and then top it with some cheese and bake it off. Then you have a nice dinner with a homemade sauce base as well. Either way, this is a wonderful kitchen staple recipe to have in your recipe box. So if you ever find that your cupboard or pantry is a little sparse, or perhaps you didn't have enough for a recipe you plan to make for dinner, you can whip up this in a matter of minutes with using only about 5 ingredients. You can make your own homemade cream of chicken soup. The texture and flavor is so wonderful, you probably won't want to buy store-bought cream of chicken soup again. You control the ingredients and the level of salt and flavoring, and it's a great base for other recipes. So I really hope you give this kitchen staple recipe a try. And keep watching because I'll share with you how I make my homemade cream of mushroom soup, which works wonderfully in green bean casserole, adds a great creamy homemade flavor to that classic recipe. If you'd like more inspiration on other homemade soups or recipes, you can check out my recipes and in the kitchen playlist. And if you're new to the channel or haven't done so yet, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button below and continue to watch my channel, The Home and Homestead, for some more homemade, homegrown, and home-style inspiration. And I surely hope that you're having a wonderful day. See you next time. Take care.